morning, cats. What's happening? It's camp time again, and it's a favorite pastime of ours, a great hobby that we have. This wonderful RV that we can set up in, and it has all the comforts of home, and yet we can be outside in this beautiful environment. We could sit around the campfire. We had a good fire going last night. It's not burning right now, but I'll get it going later today. We're going to go out and do some touring today. Got some friends that we're going to visit in this area, and just enjoy life for the next couple days here. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar with camping, I'm just going to show you some of the options when you come to these. And we like to stay at these state parks because the state parks are cheaper than a private campground, and they're usually a little nicer where you're spread out and you have a little bit of, privacy, so you're not just like living in a city of trailers or RVs. Let me show you some of the sites though and give you an idea what I'm talking about. This particular site here would be what you would call a primitive site. There's no electric hookup, no water hookup. It's just a site where you can set up a tent or back a trailer into and supply your own battery powered electric and bring your own water. This site is an improved electric site. So you'll see the site does have an electric panel box over here. And it offers plugs for 30 amp, 50 amp, and just 120 volt. You got 3 different types of plugs there, and your circuit breakers up top. But these are nice. This is a really nice park because they have these paved sites. And then you have the cream of the crop, the full hookup site. In these sites they have a nice concrete pad for the picnic table, a paved level pad to park your RV on, plenty of level spots where you could put a tent up if you had one. They also have a water riser for a water hookup, and again an electric panel. As you can see, we're in mid-October here. Beautiful view out there, by the way, and this is looking west, so there's just a perfect view of the sunset. But you see all the sites down here, they're empty right now. This is during the week. Probably on the weekend these sites will all be filled up. All these sites down here are just electric sites, whereas we're up on this ridge here, and most of these are full hookup sites. I'll show you our setup. So this is home to us for the next couple days. Have a nice spacious camp here. We have the concrete pad for the picnic table, a nice level asphalt pad that we have our RV leveled up on. I'll show you around the other side here. I have 3 connections here for water, and I have this hooked up to what they call city water, so I actually have an input of water coming into the trailer. This one, freshwater connection, if we didn't have a water hookup, I would fill my water tank up with this one. And then this is simply a flush where I can hook the hose up here and flush out my sewer tank. My water hose, and I have it hooked up to the water system right here, which feeds the RV. Over here I have the electric panel. I have a surge guard protector on there, and that plugs into the panel here for a 30 amp service. Gives us all the power we need to run air conditioning, electric heat, electric water heater, well, any other function we need. And it plugs right into the RV here. So that's what they call a full hookup, and that's about as good as it gets when you're camping, because that way you can use all the electricity you want for the cost of the site, which state parks are about the cheapest you can get. I think it's somewhere around $35 a night. You get all the water you want, so you can flush your toilet as much as you want. You can use as much electricity as you want. You can take a shower until you run out of hot water. It has a small hot water tank, but it is nice to take a nice warm shower. There's one other option to this. Right here is my sewer hookup. I remove this cap, and there's my sewer, which will dump if I pull the lever. I got a couple levers here. One's for the kitchen, one's for the bath, shower. They're different tanks for each one. And then way under here, there's another lever I can pull that'll actually dump the poop out the sewer. And I will run my sewer hose all the way across here. And right here's the sewer dump. So we pull this lid off, and that's where you dump your sewer down in there. I don't have to dump it until my tank gets somewhat full. And I like to do it that way. Some people will hook theirs up and leave their valve open, but it doesn't flush real good that way, and you could have debris that can get stuck in the pipe. So what we do is we wait for the tank to fill up, and then I'll hook the hose up, and I'll pull the lever, and whoosh, everything will go through in a big flood. When that's done, I'll pull those two silver levers down there, and those are just like the kitchen water. It'll flush the poop through the line, and then I'll pull the shower lever, and it'll empty that tank, and that shower water will go and flush out that line even more. And then before I leave, I can use the hose and really rinse all the stuff out. Well, so where's my sewer pipe? In most RVs, it's right back here. It's stored in the back bumper. You pull the rubber cap off, and there's your sewer hose. So that pretty much sums it up. You got 3 different types of sites: your primitive, your electric, and your full hookup. So we're living like kings this time. Full hookup. Costs a little more money, not that much though, and it's worth every penny though, because there's no worries. You got water, you got electric, you got sewer, so you could pretty much stay indefinitely without having to worry about emptying your freshwater tank or something of that nature. Not too far from our camp is Flint Ridge. And we've been here before, but we kind of like this place, so we took a little drive over here today, and just going to stroll around, see if we can find some flint. But this is the place in Ohio. We're in mid-east Ohio, and this is the place where most of the Native Americans got their flint to make their tools and their arrowheads and stuff, so it's quite interesting. You ready to take a little walk, my love?
I am. See how far I get.
Let's head down the trail.
Okay.
Along this little paved trail, there's these pits, big holes. They're everywhere. You look out through the woods, and those are where the Indians would dig and mine the flint out. So you can see the big rocks down there, and some of those rocks do have flint in them, although I'm sure as they were mining for flint, they were looking for probably pretty quality specimens to make their stuff out of, so they really had to dig for it. Some of these pits back here are pretty deep, and you can imagine all the digging that went on. And most of that digging was done by hand, using sticks and poles by primitive Indians. Pretty neat. Another one of our stops after we've been to Flint Ridge. We always like this area. It's called Blackhand Gorge. You can see the giant cliffs behind us, and we'll show you an interesting thing up ahead here on the trail. This is an old railroad bed that has been paved and made into a nice hiking path. It's very comfortable little. This is one of the interesting things about Blackhand Gorge, and it's man-made, but this railroad cut was blasted through these rocks back in the 1700s. So prior to that, it was just cliffs. You see all the big cliffs around here. You know, a little picture here of the train coming through the pass. Now, the most notable thing about Blackhand Gorge is what?
There used to be a black hand painted on there.
Over on this, we'll walk down this little path and I'll show you. You'll see the cliff on the other side of the river. This is the Licking River. And on this huge cliff on the other side of the river, if you were to be here maybe, let's say 300-400 years ago, there was a big black hand painted up there that pointed upriver towards Flint Ridge, where we just were. So the natives would canoe down up the Licking River here, and they would see that black hand pointing, and they would know that Flint Ridge was right up around the corner. Pretty cool piece of history. Of course, the black hand's been gone for many years. They say that when they put the railroad through here, they put some kind of an aqueduct over there, and they blasted some of the face of the rock off, and that was the end of the hand. You want to know something else pretty cool? This girl just had lung surgery 2 weeks ago, and we just walked 2 miles at Flint Ridge, and
I don't know what we're at here.
I don't know, another half mile in, another half mile back out, so that's probably a good 3 miles today of walking. Just a few specimens we collected today in the woods along one of our hikes. It was a good productive day for getting some exercise done in some areas that we like to visit when we can. Central Ohio, kind of east of Columbus, Ohio, the state capital, but we're way out in the foothills, way out in the wilderness area, and just enjoying the peace and quiet of this area. It's my favorite time of day though right now. It's campfire time. I threw a couple small pieces on there, just enough to get the fire going. From some of the coals that were left from yesterday, it was still warm enough. So this evening we will enjoy a nice hot fire and hopefully a beautiful sunset over here, because we're looking out to the west. The sun is up here and it's going to be going down. I still have a pretty good stock of wood in here, and I would like to burn a lot of that tonight. Of course, that's going to end up being one heck of a bonfire, and probably won't burn it all, but that's fine. I can use it at home too. In the meantime, though, we're going to take a seat here by the fire this evening and hope to see a beautiful sunset out here to the view on our west. Life is good, and that's what this is all about, just enjoying life, taking it easy, and loving every minute of it. Well, until next time, guys, I will catch you later. If you haven't yet, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you later.